There's a class coming up next week that probably in the last 10 to 15 years is a class that bears teaching because it's one of these things that is ongoing in your life. I have struggled with this. Rick struggled with it. Grandfather lived in the woods. He didn't have to struggle too much with it, but I could tell that whenever he had to walk through the little town I grew up in and to my house, I could see it in him that he was absorbing that energy and trying to block it. And I'm talking about the razor's edge. You know, you see it in yourself, even people who are not spiritually inclined. They decide to go on a camping trip. They take a day off of work. They leave Thursday. They get into camp. They go through the hoopla of setting up their tents, their coolers, their television sets, God knows what else they have back there. Along about Saturday, you notice that they've slowed down, getting closer, but not close enough to Earth time. And you can feel their camp areas changing. Wildlife tends to come in a little closer. And you can see people relaxing, opening up, cleansing. And then along comes Sunday. They have to pack it up. And as soon as they hit that trail out, it starts coming back. All of the rush, the din, the chaos, the should-haves, had-tos, and they lose that magic that they gleaned in those couple of short days. And it's bad enough for highly spiritual people who go beyond just the flesh, because we have to deal with the whole spiritual realities and all the interference that comes with that. But I pity the people that are not so spiritual, because it's like getting hit by a brick and they don't know how to get it back. And that's the whole element of this class, is take what you learned, whether it's just the physical approach or, like you folks, a highly spiritual, intimate approach to nature, and maintain it while you're in the chaos of society. And that's why I so recommend, and grandfather and his unspoken rule, that every morning at sunrise and every evening at sunset was sacred time, to go through all the different steps, the presence, the radiance, the surrender, the prayer, all of it. And little by little, we're able to, it's not a switch that you can turn off and go back to the sacredness of the bush. It's more like a rheostat, depending on what is surrounding you when you get out, will decide how far that rheostat takes you from that spiritual consciousness that you so cherish. And I've struggled with this razor's edge my entire life. And like a razor, it takes precision balance. One false move, and you either get cut deep or you fall off. So this class deals with what grandfather told me about the razor's edge, and also about what I've learned, both by design and choice. Most of it has been the school of hard knocks, and you never graduate. It's always an ongoing, I don't want to say struggle, but it's an ongoing consciousness that we got to be aware of what is happening to us when we vacate the temples of creation and go back into the hell of society. And it doesn't make much of a difference where you live. You know, some people live on farms, some people live out in the woods, and some people live in the cities and suburbs. To each poses its own problems. And this class, like I said, is probably one of the most important ones I have done or will do in the past 10 plus years or in the future. As you see with my teaching, I've tried to take things that you learned in the standard class or the philosophy class or the temples class, scout class, and yes, taught them in a coyote way, where each word is chosen carefully. Each exercise is chosen carefully. Most of them come from grandfather. And as far as I'm concerned, this class is a must. And I'd very seriously consider it if you're on the razor's edge.